Oh father, I have to confess that I enjoy the Christian Miku Gooner song. It's making me very angry that I couldn't talk about it sooner. This song's been popping off as of late, and I have a lot to say about it, especially considering how relatable it is when you remove the seizure graphics. Come on baby girl, let's find Jesus. The story follows Miku attending a Catholic confession, where she must confess that she's a gooner girl! It's revealed early on that Miku's gooning flavor is the fujoshi, which in English is gay men doing adult stuff. Many religions are apathetic or downright hostile to what they deem as non-traditional relationships. If Miku's caught with those gay men books, she'll be crucified in front of her school. So, she tries to hide it and become normal, but it's like Squidward hiding his love for Krabby Patties in that one episode. Everyone at her school knows that she's into the juicy stuff, and it's only a matter of time before she blows. I gotta stop here for some important commentary. There's this one scene where Miku scribbles the word delusion over a religious sister, which likely shows that she's at odds with this whole religion thing. And considering her gay fandom tendencies, she will have to make a big choice soon. When Miku is handed a lemon, it's supposed to mirror Eve eating the forbidden fruit that caused humanity to separate from God, even though God explicitly commanded Eve to not eat from the tree. A similar thing happened with Miku, but the lemon symbolism actually comes from fanfiction circles, where there's a scale of how explicit a story is, from the scale of citrus to grapefruit. The lemon here means actual, unadulterated, adult sex. You can guess how the song goes from here. Miku gives into her tendencies, and starts to become free. Who cares if she's a sinner? She can love all the men she wants now. I'm so proud of her for coming out as a gooner! This song's crazy as hell, and is full of tons of symbolism and Easter eggs, but instead of giving you some lazy list, I want to give you my deeper thoughts on what I think this song is supposed to mean. I had a Catholic education for all of my grade school years, so I think I can bring a unique perspective. The Miku in the song is actually suffering from Catholic trauma. My school was rather lenient, but we did have to go to the monthly mass and the occasional confession. I remember a lot of my kids were tossing the concept to the side. I tried to make the effort for a serious confession once or twice. It's genuinely a powerful experience that makes you question everything. The song is basically Miku's inner struggle about how to handle her desire to see tiny twink men holding hands, something that I'd imagine many LGBT and people at odds with church theology feel. I remember one time I accidentally said fuck when a religion teacher walked by me, and I got a whole lecture about the sanctity of sex and all that. So I can't imagine what treatment Miku would receive if they saw the Boyfriend's webtoon that was a joke a few years ago. Easily the biggest inside joke in the song has to be Miku holding a yaoi paddle. For people who are sexually inactive and older than me, you'll remember that these paddles were a popular novelty item found at anime conventions during the 2000s. The reason they aren't a thing anymore was because people were using them to spank others without consent. A lot of these paddles were written with many different words on them. Miku's has sinner written on it, which I think could be a commentary on the impulsive nature of us humans committing sins, like spanking men at an anime convention to fulfill the boys' love fantasy. Aside from that, the song's full of a lot of fandom jokes that people who spent their lives on DeviantArt back in 2013 would get, like Beethoven virus from DDR, the Death Note, or the Danganronpa execution scene. They're cool references, but they date the song a bit. But I imagine it's there to evoke that feeling of nostalgia of finding who you are during your high school years. There are many paths that people go down by graduation time, and Miku chose to go down the fandom brain rot route. People in fandoms tend to be a bit colorful and passionate about a lot of things to the detriment of their health, which isn't very cool. But what's very cool is that Rotten Girl sounds very similar to the 300-year-old Beethoven song, Sonata Pathetique. Pathétique is a French word that means pathetic, but long ago it had a different meaning: to have passion or to suffer for. You know why they call it the Passion of the Christ? It's not because Jesus' struggle on the cross was something we laugh at, it's because he was fulfilling God's mission of defeating death against the evil one. Jesus said that the only way we can enter his kingdom is through him and him alone. Miku was in confession because she wanted, or was forced to by her school, to go to one. She's struggling with a lot of her feelings of whether or not her fujoshi tendencies are alright with the big boss. But by the end of the song, I do believe she gives into her tendencies and throws her religion to the side, at least for some time. Who knows? Maybe she was one of those people who were shamed for their sexuality, or had a Diddy moment with a priest that made them question this whole religion thing. Miku loves men, and that's not a crime. Religion has been used as a Trojan horse for people to do bad things throughout history. It's led to division and conflict that makes us question who or what we really are supposed to be. I can get into a whole religious debate, but it's pointless arguing about this crap. I'll sound gay for saying this, but even though this topic is complex and difficult, just remember that Jesus went to the sinners, the hated, and the rejects of society with compassion, rather than the hatred and vitriol that I think Miku experienced in the song and led her to believing this whole delusion viewpoint.
Oh yeah.